It's Teach Tuesday, and today I'm going to teach you how to memorize an entire deck of cards. Okay, not really, but it's going to look like you did. To start off, you're going to give the spectator the deck of cards, which they're going to shuffle as much as they want. And then you're going to take the deck back and you're going to explain that you're going to memorize the deck of cards. Now, you can play this up as serious as you want, or it can be kind of comedic. I like to go kind of somewhere down the middle. So you explain to them, give me just a second here. I'm just going to go through the deck and remember all these cards. Got it. Got it. You're then going to have them cut the deck into 3 piles. And you're going to explain that judging by the depth of the pile and how many cards there are in each pile, you should be able to tell which card is on top. So for instance, we'll start over here with this card, which should be the 5 of clubs, I believe. Over here we have the, let's see, that's about 14 cards. That would be the 5 of diamonds. And last but not least, over here, the 8 of diamonds. 8 of diamonds. 5 of clubs, 5 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds. You can then reveal the 5 of clubs, the 5 of diamonds, and the 8 of diamonds. So how is this one done? Well, just like we did in the performance, you have the spectator shuffle the deck of cards, which they can do as much as they want. And the only real secret here is that when you're memorizing the deck of cards, you're looking through, and when you get to the very top card, you're just going to peek it just enough so that you can see it. You're going to remember that card. So in this case, the 5 of clubs. You don't really want them to see it because you don't want them to maybe think back and remember that the 5 of clubs was on the very top of the deck. So that's why when I get to the top there, I just kind of peek it out just enough to see what it is and then square them all up. And like I said, you can play this up as serious or as comedic as you want. If you want to do it kind of in a more serious way, I would take your time with it. Actually try and remember the deck. That's going to make it seem more believable if you actually take your time and go through one by one. But if you want to play it comedically, you can say, I'm going to memorize the deck. Give me a second. Got it. Perfect. And do it super quick. I like to kind of, like I said, go somewhere in the middle and play it up, but also do it enough that maybe it could be believable that I'm actually memorizing it. The next step is to have the spectator cut the deck into 3 piles. Now what you want to do is when they cut the cards, you want to keep track of that top card and make sure you know which pile contains the top card. You also want to make sure that they don't try and even out the piles, make them all even, and add extra cards to the top of the deck, that top pile where that card is that you remembered. If they do that, you're kind of screwed. They can even out the other 2 piles if they want, but I always say when I give the deck for them to cut, I say go ahead and cut the cards into 3 piles. They don't have to be even. That way there's less of a chance that they're going to move cards around and try and even them out. So in our case, the top card is on the far right pile. It's the 5 of clubs. And because we know that that card is the 5 of clubs, we're already 1 ahead of the spectators. So rather than start with that pile that we know the 5 of clubs is there, we're going to start on the opposite side, and we're going to miscall what we think that card is. So I have no idea what the top card of the left-hand pile is, but I'm going to say that it is the 5 of clubs. Then when I pick up the card to check if I'm right, I'm looking at the new card and remembering what it is. So in this case, the 5 of diamonds. Then I act like kind of surprised, like, oh, either I got it or I didn't. It's not entirely clear to them. Kind of build up the suspense. I set that card down, and now I know what the next pile's card will be. So in this case, the 5 of diamonds. So again, I in reality, I don't know what the top card of this pile is, but I'm going to call it the 5 of diamonds. I'm going to pick it up and check it, and in this case it would be the 8 of diamonds. And of course, now using that one ahead principle, I know that the last pile we're going to call the 8 of diamonds, and when I pick it up, it is of course the 5 of clubs, which we remembered from the beginning. Okay, so now you've got your 3 cards. There's just one little problem. They're not going to be in the order that you called them in, right? So if we had really done this, the first card would have been the 5 of clubs, next one would have been the 5 of diamonds, and then the 8 of diamonds. So we have to somehow switch these last 2 cards. The way I do that is, so I've got them here, 5, 8, and 5. As I'm explaining to the spectator that they shuffled the cards, they cut the cards wherever they wanted, I'm displaying these, and all I do is I slide out that middle card and then put it on the bottom. And now you're in the perfect position to display them in the same order. The 5 of clubs, the 5 of diamonds, and the 8 of diamonds. The same order that you called them in. That's all there is to it for this one. It is another simple card trick. It's incredibly easy to do. With enough practice, I think anybody could do that. And in fact, probably 13, 14 years ago, someone showed this to me when I was just sort of getting into Magic, and I had no idea how it was done. It blew my mind. And it wasn't until years later that I eventually found the secret to it. If you have any questions or suggestions for the performance, let me know. I love to read those. And I will see you guys next time.